Peter Obi should be charged to court. So that let him go and spend 2 years in prison. Hatred against the president. You said the president want to kill you, that you don't know whether you'll be alive. Is that not inciting or making people to hate Mr. President? That why would president want to kill this man? That is what you call that. I mean, and in the section 416 to 422 of the penal code, when you commit an offense, you have to just go and answer it. Nobody should think Obi is larger than life. No, he's just the husband of Margaret Peter Obi. That is all. Obi should stop, playing the victim. Don't say your business. He said all fatherless business is affected. No, it's a lie. It's a lie. As he saw that woman with Bailegushi, where they went to donate some school material, food, and the rest like that. So don't say nobody is running after your business. No, nobody runs after your business. Coming with something I will call unethical demand. You just want people to support you based on most of the Atlantis allegation against a sitting president. There was an infraction. He didn't know there was a camera there. There was an infraction committed. It wasn't just this week. But when he's being interviewed, what did he say? He doesn't even know whether he's live. He will be alive till 2027. What was the reason? They asked him. He said there's an incident. They clapped his tire. The person came up. He called the person and said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm Peter Obi." He said, "And so what?" That was what he frustrated the honorable minister. He asked that, you don't bring people down for you to succeed. No. Because the law of karma is very real. Whoever disorder in order to succeed will definitely have disorder and waiting at the post of resources. You don't just begin to manipulate people, sentiment. You just want to cause insurrection. You are just trying to incite people. What is that is sedition. The offense committed is sedition. Because when you are trying to say something that people will now say, oh, this is what they want to kill this man, and people will now, try to change that government by force. You have committed a crime. I think the man should know he should be guided. Now, they have sent the CCTV to him. Now he has kept quiet because he didn't know even there was a camera there. A sensible Nigerian would have known that all those poles at the airport, you have a camera there. Now, they recorded him and they now sent to the other minister who has sent it to his phone. Oh yeah, you should come out now to come and tell Nigeria. And he said, please, you have to pay 25,000 fine. Then you tender an apology because do not be deceived. Obi maligned the name of that person. He said he told him, I am Peter Obi, the person didn't listen. Whereas they allowed him to go. There was no issue until when he now brought it out on that podcast that he is not sure. All his business. Imagine Peter Obi asking a policeman to drive him. He should have a driver. That is also an insult from the Nigerian police force. But you lied to Nigeria simply because you are just looking for a way to make sure you will see President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He should wait to 2027. Nobody saying he should not run. In the above of a political party that he finds himself. Nobody says he should not run. But go and let people know what exactly is your mission for Nigeria. It is not that when they ask you questions, you say China will go back to China. Instead of the Chinese will go back to China. That is not the kind of narrative that we are looking for in Nigeria. And the greater problem of foreign exchange is foreign exchange itself. You see, people should not just be telling us, speaking from two sides of the mouth. Come and tell Nigeria what exactly do you want to offer them. So for him, to have sent a wrong narrative, I think the honorable minister has the right to clear the hair. Because before you know what is happening, the hit will be on him that, he was the one that sent them. But the honorable minister has come out very clear that, you are the one that caused infraction, and he has been released to go. It is okay, now that you have come, into the public discourse to deliberately attempt, to cause insurrection, to make people to hate the president, to cause disaffection, condolences to cause breach of peace. It's okay, no problem. This is the footage of what happened. Check it on your phone, but you have to tender an apology. Yeah, I don't think it's too much. You apologize to the staff. All of them are under NSC. Then go and pay the 25,000 naira fine. I think that's about that. But if he doesn't pay, he should be charged to court. That's my own. He should be charged. He's not above the law. Peter Obi should be charged to court. So now let him go and spend 2 years in prison.
How do you expect just like Kwan tender an apology?
Kwan tender an apology. Even the other young lady apologizes. What is the big deal there? You don't begin to form to order. You are a former governor in Anambra. And so, every one of us former governor in our state now. It's not only Anambra that has former governor. On this my phone, I know I see have over telephone number of 40 governors. So many former governors. So what is the big deal that I've been a former governor? What did you produce? You only try to manufacture beer. People will get drunk and they'll be killing people in the name of IPOP. Is that an achievement that you want to tell us that you're a former governor? Your bank is performing very well, over 400 something billion. Look at the MD of that bank. She's doing wonderful even in the area of education. The MD of Fidelity Bank. The woman is performing wonder in the area of education. So we should stop, Playing the victim. Don't say your business. You say, oh, virtually your business is affected. No, it's a lie. It's a lie. As you saw that woman with Balegushi, where they went to donate some school material, food, and the rest like that. So don't say nobody is running after your business. No, nobody is running after your business. You are the one that is the problem, by yourself. The staff of Fidelity Bank, they are doing wonderfully well. The MD, in fact, she's very, very exceptionary. I will not lie to you. That woman, all over schools, even in Ogun State, in Lagos, in Oyo, she goes there to go and donate, school material, bag, books, computer, to people. So don't say anybody. They want to run down your business. Nobody is running down your business. But Obi is a man who wants to use political consideration to make sure you remove President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or to create an atmosphere for hatred against the president through external influence, and that is what we call sedition. And he carry a maximum punishment of 2 years. So if he's found guilty, he should go and spend 2 years in prison.
Well, how would you say that Peter Obi is trying to incite the public against?
Let me read what sedition means.
The fact that the APC seem to have more weight politically and with other influences
No.
at their disposal.
See, sedition, as far as we are concerned, it's a criminal offense. Under the Criminal Code, Section 50 and Section 51, they said it punishes spoken words, written or publication that incite disaffection, hatred against the president. You said the president want to kill you, that you don't know whether you'll be alive. Is that not inciting or making people to hate Mr. President? That why would the president want to kill this man? That is what you call that. And in the Section 416 to 422 of the Penal Code, when you commit an offense, you have to just go and answer it. Nobody should think Obi is larger than life. No, he's just the husband of Margaret Peter Obi. That is all. And father to 2 of his children. No problem that he's not above anybody. You shouldn't think, oh, I'm larger than life, I'm bigger than life. No, you don't malign the name, the office of the Honorable Minister of Aviation, and you think Festus Keyamo will allow you to just go like that. They didn't talk until when he now brought out the matter that I don't even know whether I'll be alive to 2027. And what is the only significant infraction he spoke about is about the other airport. Imagine they climb my vehicle, everything they are doing is against him. They are affecting his business, and that's why I say no, nobody doing anything to his business. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm still saying it. Fidelity Bank MD performing wonder. As far as I'm concerned, I know the number of states that they have donated items, but Obi should go and face. He shouldn't bring such things. The other shareholder, he shouldn't be making allusion to that to business that our federal government is trying to do. Something to a business. It shouldn't be. He should just go and answer his own issue. He should go and face the government. And like I said, he was out to do 3 things: pay fine and apologize under 7 days. And the other minister said if he doesn't, they have the footage. They said they will, the law will have to take his course. So that means it will be arranged. Do not forget. Well, former governor Ahmed Tinubu was not arranged in this country by the Code of Conduct. All of you have forgotten. Was it not arranged? Is it today not, a president of Nigeria? Nobody is bigger, as far as I'm concerned. You are not bigger than the Constitution of Nigeria. Everybody, we are under the Constitution. It is there that the Constitution controls all of us. Whether you are the president, you are governor, you are anything, you are all of us are under the Constitution of the Federal Government of Nigeria. You are not above it. Section 1 of the Constitution, 2 and sub 3 is clearly defining that this Constitution is the ground norm of every other one. That is the most superior to any other act, or any other authority. Our constitution is the final. So once there is an infraction, let him go and face the music. And like I said, they ask him to apologize, to pay the fine, and if he doesn't, let him face the music in line with the Constitution of Nigeria. 2 years is not too big for him. It's just 2 years now. So he will go and come back.
Okay. This is the man coming up from the vehicle. The principal went out from the vehicle and went into the terminal and the driver is now reparking the vehicle. He has reparked the vehicle. And the batch fast rule is once a driver go out of the car and left the car, they will lock it immediately. Once a driver is not inside the vehicle, it will be locked. So the driver is now coming out, a policeman. He has left the vehicle, running towards the terminal building. The car is now without anyone inside. At the batch fast stop. He locked it up. Okay. He's back. He opened the boot of the vehicle. Left the car again, going back to the terminal. his batch first staff, having observed that the vehicle is left